We got Gen 5 blower on here. Got headers, North Star throttle body, adjustable coilovers, ZCP, coil packs. Looks like these are probably factory wires. These dog bones here look like a set that ZZP sells. It might be, but I think these are probably a knockoff set. Dog bones like ZZP. These as well. Unless these are upside down. I don't feel no logos on here. ZZPs would be logoed. What's up, y'all? In the new project car. I'm gonna change these speakers out. This problem, other than it being old, this one over here has got some coil rub. It's probably coils unwound, being so old. Who knows how many people have owned this car before me. Just wearing out these damn speakers in blast mode. We got 3 or 4 inch probably over there functioning as like the highs. We're gonna switch out to these Sonys. I just got these Sonys because they're what were readily available at Walmart. I don't know. I might order some Sundown 6x9s or CT Sounds. Probably CT Sounds. The CT Sounds had a mean looking Meso 6x9. I want to try out. But I had some Sony 6x9s, man, 10, 11, 12 years ago maybe. I put them in my Trans Am, and they sounded pretty good in my Trans Am. So I was like, yeah, why not go with the Sonys? All they had at Walmart was the Sonys or the kickers. They had 2 different sets of the kickers. I've had good experience with the kickers as well. They sound pretty good with the kickers as well, but you get a decent amount of bass out of the kickers. You know, these 6x9s aren't really designed for bass or whatever, but unless you want to go with those new rock wheels I showed you guys, those things are nice. But they're not going to fit in here without modifications. Obviously, these will just bolt right in. Now, this has a Boost factory amplifier system. You see the Boost sound right there. Logo, not sound. Can't see sound unless you got an O-scope. Then you can see sound. But whatever, guys. Don't fucking listen to me right now. But yeah, we're gonna swap these out. But in a minute, I'm gonna show you guys the new project car. I want to show you guys some body work on this car. Point out some pointers to you guys or anything. If any of you guys are into body work or looking to be into body work, I'm pointing a couple things out there. And then I'll go over what my plans are with this new project car of mine. This one might be more bass oriented. Might get some good sounds in here sooner or later. These are not permanent, guys. These are gonna come out eventually. But I have other goals with this car, some performance mods and stuff. I already got some performance stuff ordered for this car. Matter of fact, let's talk about it now, I guess. You guys don't want to see me install new speakers in this thing anyways. Don't mind. A mess, man. Just fucking going through here. Oh, here we are. This is a nice handy dandy fuel pump. I do not know for sure if it will work with this car. It might be too big. I originally got this for my Tahoe when I was planning on doing some performance upgrades to my Tahoe, but I never actually got to that. So I know this works for GM vehicles. Will it work for this one? I don't know. I'll find out. If not, I'll order a different pump for this vehicle. But this pump is good up to 600 horsepower on E85 and 1,000 horsepower pump gas. So this would be a good pump. I hope it would work for this. If not, things aren't too expensive. So if this don't work for it, we'll order one for this car, because I am gonna switch this car to E85. I mean, I can run E85 through it right now the way it is. It's not gonna hurt nothing, but you know, I don't want to do that too much. The fuel pump that's in here, I don't know what it is, it's factory or whatever. Ain't gonna support too much E85 volume, so the good thing is I don't gotta drop the tank. There's access to the fuel pump right there. I love that. I wouldn't mind dropping the tank, but I don't need to. Alright, guys, let me get these installed and then go around, give you my plans with this car, show you guys some body work, give you my opinions, or oh yeah, please don't ever do this ever again. Amplifier wire, I don't even know where this is hooked in yet, under the hood or in the fuse box or what. I gotta get this pulled out. Yeah, please don't do this, guys. I mean, it works for when you're in a hurry, but this is, yeah, you can start a fire with this very easily. So we'll just pretend we didn't see that for now. That's what the right thing to do is. I don't even know what this is yet. I haven't even looked at all this yet. Haven't looked at too much. Bought some paint for the car. I was gonna paint some spots on the car. But yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. I want to show you guys the car. We'll talk about that. Let me get these out and the new ones put in. Oh yeah. Speaking of which, in these style cars, a lot of times, right? There's no tweeter on these. This has got the tweeter here. A lot of times these Pontiacs, this is Pontiac Grand Prix GTP, but the Grand Ams, whatever other little Pontiacs there are. There's too many of them. Not really though. But yeah, the Grand Ams, Grand Am GTs, you know, 4 doors, 2 doors, 36,000 doors. When you go to put these aftermarket speakers in them, you can never get them to sound right. Sound like shit. Oh, even the Oldsmobile Aleros, Oldsmobile Auroras, all that shit. You get the wiring harness from the fucking, you guys can't even see in there, whatever. But the wiring harness from the factory speakers, usually you get like 4 wires coming out of them. This one's only got 2, so there's probably 2 and then 2. So what I might have to do is the 2 wires that are coming from this speaker, we can plug in right here. The 2 wires, I'm assuming there's 2 wires. I haven't looked yet. There should be 2 wires coming out of this speaker. What I might have to do is we'll have to cut this negative off and this positive off. And all those do is run up here to this tweeter. See that? And then we'll run the tweeter to the wires from this little guy. And that should make this sound the way it's supposed to sound. Not all muddy and 1 second it wants to be real bassy with no words, and then 1 second it's words with no bass or whatever. It happens a lot with those Pontiac Grand Dams, the fucking Oldsmobiles, fucking Aleros. But yeah, that's what you do to fix that problem. I'm gonna try it first without cutting these to see how it sounds. Because this is set up a tad bit different than those other cars that I mentioned. I'm sure there's more cars that are like that, but I don't care what they are at the moment. But I'll let you guys know whether I have to cut these and splice them into the other speaker set. So, yeah. Here's the harness for, see if I can get you guys in there to see that. Right there, the blue connector. It's the harness. It's going, oh yeah, see here's the other two. The other speaker. Right there. That yellow and brown. See that there? Yeah. The yellow and brown. What's gonna come up to this speaker here. So most likely what's gonna happen is when I plug this speaker into here, I'm probably not gonna get any type of proper sounding voice out of this. I'll get a little bit, but it's not gonna sound right because of the settings of this factory amp. So I'm gonna have to cut these off and then just wire these into the yellow and brown for this. I don't remember which is a positive. I want to say the brown is positive, the yellow is negative. I don't remember. I'll have to look it up. So, alright, back. I'll show you guys some body work here in a minute. Got the cold air intake. Front and back adjustable coilovers. Now these coilovers need some adjusting. They are stiff as can be. Show you here. There is no travel in those springs. So we're gonna have to lower those springs down to try and get some travel. In other words, raise the car up a bit. Yeah, if we lower it, it'll raise the car. So it's not sitting so low, but those are probably pretty damn close to maxed out as far as how low they can go. There's my damn battery percentage popped on. We get some upgrades coming in this car soon. We're swapping it to E85. We'll put an intercooler on here. We'll put some 60-pound injectors, new wheel rails that are going to go on this. We might even put some new rockers on here, new springs. This valve cover, it's not a factory valve cover. This is some sort of knockoff aftermarket aluminum valve cover. Don't know why that one's on there. Go to the rear, it's still got the plastic factory valve cover on it. This car should be making more horsepower than what it currently is right now, so there's something holding it back that I got to dig into as well. The computer right there, I believe that's the factory computer, but we have a catless exhaust system on here. We still got the O2 sensor plugged in on it, so I'm assuming there is a slight tune on the computer. based off of the fact that there's no cat. And don't believe it's running off the O2 sensor, or not the O2 sensor, but the MAP sensor, mass airflow sensor. Sometimes when you have a bad O2 sensor or whatever, your vehicles will resort to running off your mass airflow sensor instead of your O2. I don't believe that's the case here, so this has got to have a tune for that cat delete. At bare minimum, it's got that. It also has the governor. The governor is removed off of this, so there's no more topping out at 106 miles an hour with this car, 107 miles an hour, whatever it was, factory. Probably 107. We got a coolant leak. I gotta figure it out. Yeah, well, it might be a power steering leak as well. I know he was messing with the power steering. The previous owner was messing with power steering on this. It says pulley we got in here right now. We got a 3.4 pulley on there. Missing a bolt there, or not there, no big deal. Just a little loose. Get one of those figured out later. Let me get to show you guys that bodywork. Well, my goal with this car is to make probably, I don't know, 350, 400 horsepower to the wheels. Might have to do some gear changing or transmission upgrades, I don't know. We'll deal with that when we get to it, but this car should be making, you know, close to 300 at the crank the way it is, but it's just not. But I'm gonna do the right thing, throw some upgrades on it to avoid whatever's going on here and get that power level up a little bit. Got another supercharger. Previous owner I ran in today was telling me there's coolant flowing through the supercharger, the bearings, and they're probably not the greatest. He's saying sometimes you hear them. I've never heard it until today, until you mentioned it. But after you mentioned it, I did hear it today. So that might be part of the issue too, is the blower's not working right. I'll show you guys something. I was gonna paint the car today too, but I can't paint it. Like right here, you can't really tell. But if you zoom in right here, look at the angle there. See these marks? That's from a DA, either an electric sander or an air sander. The pad or the sandpaper going at too much of an angle, and when it jumps around or you push too hard in one spot, it's gonna leave these marks right here, 2-3 feet away from the car. You can't see it, but when you're up close like this, you can see it. If I paint over this, it's gonna pop out twice as much with the red paint going back over it. I think this is just primer with filler inside the primer. I don't think it's Bondo. It doesn't feel like Bondo. You see here, there's splatter and stuff and some sanding going on here, trying to feather it out. It's not that bad of a feather job, but nothing was taped off and stuff, which is cool. Did a fairly good job down here. Down here, there's some areas here. There might be some Bondo here, but this needs to get filled in with Bondo before it's painted. These areas here. Otherwise, it's just gonna stick out like a sore thumb when I paint it. You see here's some more marks that this needs to get sanded out again. And the same with over here. These marks, they're all gonna show up in the paint if I repaint it. Well, right here too, some big divots. Yeah. I think this here is primer with filler in it. So this needs to get sanded down again, and I need to figure out what spots need Bondo. This is probably, well, I might be able to sand that out to where I don't need to put Bondo in it, but I won't know until I get there. I don't know if this might just be primer with filler too. So it doesn't feel like Bondo. You get the splatters here, so I'm assuming that's what that is. We'll get this sanded all right. These little divots are actually, these are gonna have to get grinded out. Some of it, like this here, that's not gonna sand out very easily. Some extra, this stuff should be able to come out sanded pretty easy right here. But then especially this over here, unless it's just, feels like it's all the way down in the metal there. I'm pretty sure it is. So this I have to get grinded out and then sanded. And for this, we use 80 grit, and then we would come back with 150. Put some Bondo in any of the pinholes or anything that are left over. Sand the Bondo off so that only the pinholes are filled, and then repaint it. Should be just fine. This hood, on the other hand, got me wondering too. This feels a little bit more like Bondo compared to that stuff on the rear fender there, which is fine. This is actually a decent job, and he's doing the right thing. He sanded through, stopped, sanded through, and that's feathered out perfect anyway, so there's no bumps there or nothing. Most of the hood feels flat. I don't feel any bumps or divots underneath this. The only thing I would have done different is this edge here would have came back, feathered out back here more. And you get these bare metal here, feathered nice right there. Alright, that's paintable. So the hood up right here, you can feel it. You don't want to feel this, so this I have to get resanded in this spot right here. Again, this might be really hard to tell. I won't know until I actually get in here and start sanding some of this stuff. If I do, I could paint this hood the way it is, it's no problem. But back there I can't. The only other spot is right here, this little chip. That needs some filler. So I think the hood's good enough to paint the way it is, which I might. Give you guys a good piece of advice on this. I think the guy just was in a hurry and ran out of time. Didn't quite have time to finish all this up and just kind of boop, 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 booped it in there, you know. But what I would do is fill in all these gaps. It does not matter what this weld looks like, I promise you guys, because you can fix what the weld looks like. No matter how shitty it comes out or how good it comes out, you can fix how it looks. Something like this, I would get it all filled in, well, all these cracks up. And what you're going to do, you can either polish the weld down, or you can sand or grind the weld down. You get a nice DA unit where you can switch the setting between sand and grind. Put some 80 grit on here, grind it down, slap some Bondo over it here. Bam. Slightly sand it down, keep the angle right. It's gonna look factory. Then you can paint it, do all that good stuff. Bondo is not always easy stuff to work with. I know you see a lot of people, oh, Bondo's easy this, Bondo's easy that. But if you actually get in there and look at some of their work, if you don't know what you're looking for, of course you'll be like, oh yeah, it's easy. But I promise you, Bondo is not easy, guys. You need to practice with that stuff. Practice and practice. Make sure it's smooth as a baby's butt. If there's any kind of divot or anything, it will show in the paint. This is why you see people, big car guys, talking about when they do Bondos, they have hours and hours and hours into the body work on a car. And that's mostly because of the Bondo. Getting Bondo shaped and formed and fitted and smooth. And like these little areas here, that will show up in the paint. If you paint that, so this needs to get filled. But other than that, it's not too bad. I got this car from a really cool kid, man. He's got a couple videos on his YouTube channel of this car. He redid, I want to say he did the head gaskets on this, or maybe it was something else I was watching because they did the head gaskets on it, I don't know. But if you guys want to check out his channel, it's BB's Garage. I'll try and put a link down in the comments somewhere, something to his channel if you guys want to check him out. Cool guy. We're gonna get him for a ride back in this car one of these days. After I'm done sort of getting it where I want to get it, I'm gonna take it back to him, let him take a ride in it. Let him drive it, of course. The chevelle. This thing is gonna go sit somewhere for a while. We got brake leak on this side. I think it's just the brass fittings on the line that bolts into the caliper. $5 fix, $10 fix. Not a big deal. We got a coolant leak. Coolant leaks out of the heater core on the back side where the hoses plug into it. It's a slow leak, but you wiggle that hose around and the heater core just moves around, so I know it's coming from the heater core. Is probably wore out. It's probably the original heater core. I got some serious transmission leaks, motor oil leaks. So this car's mainly gonna sit for a while until I get a new motor and transmission for it. I was gonna convert this to EFI and just go with it the way it is, but I don't want to change all the gaskets out and shit on this fucking motor. I mean, the motor runs alright. Video cut out. I don't know where I was at. I ran out of storage space. I had to leave some storage space. I remember I was talking about something with this car, but long story short, put it away for a little while. Till probably LS swap this thing. Get gear star transmission for it and all that. Before I put it away, I will get you guys a video of this thing laying down some rubber and some old, dry, rotted tires. So that'll might be the last video you guys see of this car for a while, unless I decide to do some body work or something to it. But yeah, we'll probably start this project back up next year. As far as this one goes, this is going to be the current project that I'm going to work on all summer long. So, yep. Got those speakers in there on the deck. And yeah, you gotta run both sets of those wires for them speakers to work how they're supposed to work. I'm not gonna do that right now. I don't want to cut those wires off of these speakers. Once I actually order the speakers I want for this car, I'll probably turn around and post those ones up for sale. But yeah, my next video on this car will probably be the intercooler install and the fuel pump. I might have somebody else record that one for me. That way it comes out a lot better than this. You guys are just staring at absolutely nothing, listening to me ramble. We'll try to keep that to a minimum next video as well. Alright, y'all. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good night, good morning, good day. Whatever it is that's going on right now as you're watching this. Alright, peace out.